Are you the guy that goes out to the golf course and when you're out there, you hit your short irons like a tour pro, but with your driver, you can't find a fairway to save your life? If that's you, do me a favor, subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you keep watching the rest of this video. We're gonna fix all that for you today. Let's do it. What's up, guys? Coach Scott Yurgz here at our indoor facility, and I just got done with a new student, and he came in today and he was telling me that whenever he plays, he feels like he hits his irons pretty good, but his driver is never dialed in. He can't get the two of them to work together on the same day. I'm gonna guess that's a similar problem to what a lot of you have, and I'm sure some of you out there raising your hand, you're like, yeah, that's me, Coach Scott. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through why that is, how to fix it, and a really simple drill. It's a 2-for-1 drill. It's one drill, it does two things for you. It's gonna make you better. So what I need you to do is I need you to sit down for a minute and understand why it is that you can't hit your driver straight. All right, so now let's get right to the root of the problem. So most of you already know that an iron and a driver are very different, but more importantly, the task that you have to accomplish with each club is different. So we know an iron is meant to be played a little bit back in your stance, kind of middle, and then when we hit the golf ball, we're hitting more down, we're striking the ground, we're making a divot, the low point is in front of the golf ball, all that good stuff, right? With a driver, it's a lot different. So this driver is obviously a little bit longer, the ball's further forward in my stance, and when I hit it, I don't hit the ground. I never touch the ground with the driver unless I'm Sergio Garcia and I'm making divots with the driver, but I never hit the ground. In fact, I am swinging, for the most part, most people will do this, up when I hit this golf ball. So the task is already different. This is why sometimes you all struggle with driver to iron, driver to iron. You don't get, unfortunately, to hit 7 drivers in a row like on the driving range, so you have to learn how to switch back and forth. The other thing you have to realize is that when you have a driver versus an iron, they have different characteristics, right? So one of them is significantly longer than the other. The other thing is with that, when you have the club on the ground, because one is longer, the longer one's gonna have a flatter lie angle. So the handle of the club's gonna appear like it's lower, the shaft's gonna feel like it's on a lower angle. That's called lie angle. The more vertical of the two clubs, this 9-iron, is gonna appear to be more vertical, more up into the air. Great way to think of this is think to yourself, the driver's gonna be a little bit more like a merry-go-round, a little bit more around, a lot more rotational. The iron is going to feel a little bit more like a Ferris wheel. It's going to go a little bit more up and down. And this is what we have to talk about and why, when you have a driver in your hand, sometimes you forget that it's not a Ferris wheel. You've got to remember it's more of a merry-go-round. And we're going to figure out how to do that with a very, very simple drill. And you're probably already groaning. You can see it back here behind me. We got ourselves the 2x4. And I know you guys know I love the 2x4. Here's what we're going to do. This is a 2-for-1 drill for us, okay? What I need from you is get a 2x4. As big as you want, right? It doesn't need to be super small. I really want it to be big enough so you can stand with the proper stance with. And the first thing you're gonna do, even without a golf club, you're just gonna stand there on the 2x4 and you're gonna have your toes over the edge, heels over the back, and you're just gonna stay balanced. All right, we're gonna try to balance ourselves here. And then I'm gonna have you put a little bit of knee flex in. There you go, get a little bit of better balance. And from there, you're gonna bend a little bit at the hips. And what you're gonna notice is, the more I bend over, the more likely I am to fall over the 2x4. So from a down the line view, as I bend more forward, my balance starts getting a little further out towards my toes. I want to make sure when we're hitting driver, this is very specific driver, we don't have nearly as much forward bend. When we hit driver, we have more of that merry-go-round effect, right? A lot more around than up and down. If I bend over a lot from the hips, what it's going to lead to do is my lead shoulder is going to work the most down. My arms are going to raise up the most, and I'm going to have the least amount of merry-go-round. I'm going to have quite a bit of Ferris wheel, right? A lot more vertical. The more vertical, the more down and across I'm going to hit the golf ball. And again, we mentioned prior, the task of hitting driver is not to hit down and across. The task of driver is hit up and out. So we want to set up, get balanced. You're going to notice I'm a little more centered over the 2x4. I don't have my chest completely over it. So that's where I want you to be. Now, the best part about this drill, it's kind of a 2-for-1, like I said. You're gonna pick up your golf club, and if you're as talented as me, you can do it while standing on the 2x4. And from here, what I need you to do is I need you to set up, And this is the cool part, you're gonna make some practice backswings. Do not make downswings. I don't feel like hearing about my students going to the hospital because they fell over. What I want is some practice swings. And what you're gonna find is the only way to really stay on that 2x4 is to have a little bit more merry-go-round to your swing. So the shoulders will be flatter. The reason the shoulders are flatter is because we have less forward bend. As we turn, our shoulders will turn perpendicular to the forward bend, right? So if I have a lot, they tilt a lot. If I bend over a little, I tilt a little bit. That is what we want to see. So here we go. We're going to make a couple back swings here. And the goal is find your balance, add a little merry-go-round in, and get it all the way up to the top. One of the benefits of this is from the down the line view, you're going to see I have a ton of depth. Depth is one of the things that most poor players don't have. Most of them have too little depth. We need to add depth because that's how you're going to swing more up and out. So once you get the hang of making those practice swings, do that at your house, and then I need you to take it to the range, and then I need you to take it to the golf course. So how are we going to do that? Because I can't have you lugging 2x4s around, take the alignment rods that you probably have collecting dust in your bag, put them on the ground. I actually have 2 of them here, and I want you to stand on both of them, pretending like it's the 2x4. Now you get a sense of how forward or back you are. I want you to step up to that golf ball. I want you to feel a little bit more merry-go-round. And I want you to strike the golf ball. Here we go. Let's see if we can do this. I want you to practice like that, and you're slowly taking the training wheels off. So you go from big 2x4 to small alignment rods, kick them out of the way, and from there, you can go without any training wheels. I think if you can take those pieces from the house to the range to the golf course, you're going to find the days that you hit irons really well and driver like crap are going to start to dissipate, and they're all going to come together, and you're going to be a much better player. Well, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share. Go get yourself a free online evaluation at scottyurgzgolf.com, and we'll see you next week.